So it's 21:02 hours on the evening of Wednesday, the 20th of November 2013. I'm Detective Senior Constable. I'm Detective Senior Constable Aaron Walker from the Homicide Investigation Unit. My registered number is 16203. Currently at Unit 3 of 9, or Unit 9 of 3 Boddington Street, Mackay, with Ringo Tapim in relation to doing a quick reenactment or video walkthrough of what he saw on the evening of Friday, 8 February 2013, or the early hours of 9 February 2013. Ringo, I'll just get you to say your full and correct name for the
full name is Ringo Tapim. I'm at Unit 39 Boddington Street.
What's your date of birth?
22nd 1st 76.
Jodie's the operator. I'll just get you to introduce yourself, Jodie.
Jodie McLennan, registration number 27902 from Mackay Scenes of Crime.
Okay, Ringo, what I'll get you to do, mate, I'm going to hop out of the video, okay, because it's not about me. And I just want you to explain to Jodie where you were, what you heard, and your movements going.
No worries.
Going to just move slowly. It doesn't need to be as fast as what it was, obviously, because we've got that wire.
Too easy.
Okay,
too easy.
I'm out. You talk to Jodie.
All right. Well, at that night, around just past midnight, I was pretty much laying in the lounge room with my partner and watching TV at the time, till I heard some coughing and gagging sort of noises. The first noise I heard, because people walk past here all the time, and then the second noise I heard, that's when I got up and I walked out to the balcony. Couldn't really see out onto the balcony because none of those street lights were on. The only light I could see off was the wheelchair access that's downstairs. And so what I did was I got up when I heard the second gag, slid the door open. As I slid the door open, I could see Shandee crossing the road, and she was crossing from that corner, but that street light was not. It was all dark, and she was pretty much where that keep left sign is right now. And the only light that was here was this bulb that was here, right here. And with me, I couldn't really see because it was so bright, and it was around the midnight. None of these lights were on, so I had to block that light to see where she was, and where Bro is there now. That's when she was sort of holding her gut, same time sort of holding the mouth, because I think that's when she was sort of bleeding. She was hunched over. She was hunched over like she was halfway, and she was walking to pretty much straight to where this light is. Yeah, and she was hunched over till about there was when I ran back in. I ran back inside the. You got to turn this way because I got that cord. I come back inside the house. Quickly said to Mary, "Give me your phone because something's going on downstairs here." Ran out to the back balcony, which is just out here, just so I could see, because in this corner you see and you hear a lot of people and young ones or people from nightclubs or something like that. And that's when I poked my head out here, and that's when I was really leaning over and looking down, because as you can see the view that I've got, you can see anybody and anyone at the time, as you can see people walking around or whatever. But at that time there was nothing, no one, and none of these street lights are here. Or this street light in front of us right here where this white car is, that wasn't even invented, that wasn't there. They just put that on after that girl was gone. That street light was busted up, and none of these, you couldn't really see anybody. It was dark, and you could, after I looked, like I said, the only thing I could see was little kittens running around the corner. That's all I could see that night. Then I ran back inside. Once I got back inside, Mary was asleep, so I grabbed her phone, and that's when I started dialing 000. As I got to the balcony, that's when she was, when I got to the balcony, that's when she was down on her hands and knees, pretty much where that yellow, where that white line is of the side part. Yeah, she was pretty much crouched down there now, bro. And she was just coming over to the gutter. She was crawling over to the gutter. Yeah, she kept coming, and she was sort of dropping, and she's gripping now as she's gripping up to the gutter. And then that's when she dropped, pretty much dropped right there before the gutter, and then lifted her head and faced it to the servo, faced it left. I don't know if you can see that with that light. But by that time I've already run downstairs with the phone.
Just come around so Jody can pick up the console down there.
Yeah, mate.
You get a good shot from over there.
Yeah. By that time I was running downstairs with talking to Triple O, and I called out to Dave. Dave was straight across the road of the units at the time. He's not there anymore. And I called out because I could still hear him because he was having a few drinks that afternoon and was still going at that night. And that's when Dave was like, yeah, Ringo, all right. And he came, by the time he came down, I was standing right here, just there. And that's when she was just laying there like that now. And then when Dave was taking his time, I was calling out to her, Bob, everything all right? Bob, what's going on? She didn't move. She did not move. So I walked over. I was scared to touch her. I was leaning over. I was like, Bob, what's going on? But that's, she was facing that way, and that's pretty much the way she stayed. Until Dave come down. When Dave come down the stairs, he come over here, that's when he started yelling out, oh fuck Ringo, is that your friend? Is that your mate? And I was like, no brother, I just saw her coming across the road. And that's when he come over, that's when that big fella in the taxi come over, and when he saw us two there, because I was standing there and people were just driving past, and I was like, oh, I was just thinking, what the fuck? And then the big lad in the taxi driver come up, pulled up and seen us right there when I was standing and hovering over the top of her, and then he drove around and he parked right there. Then he come over, I was like, and he's like, what's going on? Or what, is she all right? I said, no, obviously not. So I'm on the phone to Ambos now. Then he went back and he must have rung his mob or whatever, the cab people. And then while that was going on, another cab pulled up right in front of us here. Another cab, that was just that lanky Indian fella. He parked right there. Another one come around him and he parked over on the other side there, and he had the wrap around on his head and he parked over there. Then all three of them sort of, when Dave come over, he was like, Ringo, and so we're both there with her now. So Ringo, we got to do something. And that's when Dave went down next to her, and Dave grabbed her and picked her up on the side, not realizing that I think his finger went into that fucking hole, that hole in the side of her neck. And then he sort of got a shock, so he sort of let go, and then as he turned her over, and what he was doing, I was telling the guys on the Ambos, the Triple O, exactly what he was doing. I know he'd done a couple of presses on her chest. He blew into her mouth, and it was just blood and stuff coming out. So, like when I was there with her, like when I was saying to the ambulance people, she's got to hurry up, she hasn't moved. And then that's when I seen the pool of blood just coming out to the left of her and stuff. So that was all around there. I was like, oh shit, she's got. And that's when I sort of backed up a bit, and and then I know I rung about 12, and it was about 12:15. I think that's when the ambulance, we could hear sirens out there everywhere, and then they pulled up. And that's when 50 pulled up, and and they went from there.
So significance about from this side here, the light, the street light
that wasn't there.
The traffic police car now, that was out.
That was out. There was no light there. It was pitch black at midnight. There was nothing there. This is the only light I could work off. Not even that light as well.
Yeah. Okay. So this wheelchair
access.
Yeah. So that round light, that was active.
That was the only one.
And the one underneath that tree.
Yeah, I can't remember that one, because I cannot remember that one either. It was covered by that, but I'll be honest, I can just, this bulb right here was the only, because that was the only way I could see her, was by blocking that light and running downstairs. And
okay, so there's, and the light that's just around above that white jumper, which we picked up earlier.
Yeah, that's new. That wasn't even built. That got put in after Shandee.
Yeah. Okay.
And this whole island is, I don't know if you know, but that island wasn't even there as well.
Right,
None of that was there. It was just a white line. So none of that was there.
Okay. Then. Jody, are you happy with things better with it?
Yeah, because no one did this that night or that day.
No worries. So the time is now 12 minutes past 9. Stop the tape. Yeah. Yep.